What's happening, FlowChat Connector? Sean here, back at you with another high-ticket tune-up. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to close more by never answering unasked questions. What's happening, FlowChat Connector? Sean here, back at you with another high-ticket tune-up. Make sure and smash that like button. Feed the algorithm god so that more people can get this information, so that more deals get closed for you and for the ones that you care about most. Today, we're going to dive into a really valuable lesson: how to close more by never answering unasked questions. The question came in from Ronald. Ronald said this. He said, Sean, often my tech team blows deals for me. It usually results from them talking about things that are unimportant to closing deals. How do I combat this, right? And so the very straightforward and simple answer is never let them in the room unless you absolutely have to. Now, if you have to, what you want to do is strategize with them for a game plan, a strategy. You're going to be the leader. They can't even come and say things unless you give them approval to do so, right? Set that commanding kind of hierarchy when you go into the sales conversation. And what's important about this is when I was talking with Ronald, this is what he told me. He said, Sean, I put this deal together. He sells IT services, PS. And he said, Sean, I took 3 months to put this deal together. Just heartbreaking when I heard this story. So 3 months to put the deal together. He went in, he did everything right. He met the cast of characters because he was selling to a big boardroom. He identified the actual problems that they were having and that his company could actually provide solutions. He developed the right solutions for each of the major problems that they were having. And they came in for the final, what he said was going to be a slam dunk meeting. And he reconfirmed like, hey, these are the problems that you're having, correct? And the client and their team said, yes, that's exactly the problems we're having. And then he said, okay, great. Based on that, we're going to go through a quick presentation, and point by point, he said, this is your first problem. This is how we're going to solve it. Are you guys in 100% agreement that would absolutely solve your problem? Yes. Second problem, yes. Third problem, yes. And as he got to the last problem, the lead person in the prospect said to him, hey, Ronald, like, we don't need to see anymore. Like, we want to move forward with you. Like, the deal was closed. Let's start the paperwork, is what Ronald said to me. He's like, yeah, the guy said, hey, like, I don't want to see anymore. Let's start the paperwork. I want to get this deal done. Ink. Let's go to bed and let's get it done. So as Ronald was going into his briefcase to pull out the agreement that he needed the John Hancock signatures on, and he pulls it out, all of a sudden his lead tech turns and says, oh, by the way, I think it's important that you should know we're going through a 60-day beta program with our database, and all the updates will be done in about 60 days. And that's all he said. And the whole energy in the room changed. And the prospect was like, oh, that's a problem. And now we're not going to sign the deal. And he lost the account because the tech said some stupid thing that never needed to be said to close the deal. So the point in all of this is this: close first, educate later, right? Sell today, educate tomorrow. Close first, educate later. If the prospect has these problems, your job as a sales professional is to match your solutions to the problems that they have and no more. They don't need to know everything behind your jacket. They don't need to see all the gold watches or anything else that you have behind the closed doors, right? What's important is identifying the problem that they solve or that they have and that you can solve it. That's the first step. The second step is then understanding how they can afford it. They get the budget, right? We understand the budget, the time, energy, money, blood, sweat, tears that goes into the deal of actually making the agreement go forward. And lastly is the buying decision, the buying process, who is involved, how they actually make decisions. When you know those three things, you don't need any other, hey, we're in a beta for our thing for the next 60 days. Like, that doesn't even need to be part of the conversation. And so if you don't need the tech in the room, get the tech out of the room. Not necessary to have that. And so I just wanted to share with you, if you ever say, you should probably know, or I wanted to tell you this, if those things are coming out of your mouth as a sales conversation, stop doing it. Stop it right now, because if you don't, you're going to lose lots of deals. Your job is to identify the problems that your prospect is having and clearly demonstrate that you can solve just those issues, and then confirm, like, hey, would this solve the problem that you're currently having? When they say yes, you say, what should we do next? And they said, let's move forward. Okay, move forward means sign this agreement right here, put your John Hancock on it, and this is the next steps that will happen. And that's all you need. You don't have to say, here's everything that's going on in our world behind the curtains, behind the scenes. Nobody likes to see that. It's trash, it's drama. Don't bring it to the party. And with that said, that is how to close more by never answering the unasked questions. So just as a sales professional yourself, I know you're a FlowChat connector, sales ascender, just don't answer questions that they don't ask because it's unnecessary, right? They're not focused on that. And if you get them focused on something, then all of a sudden you've opened a can of worms, Pandora's box, and then the deals won't close. And that sucks. That's not what we want. So with that said, again, do not just give free information. Never vomit verbal diarrhea all over people. It doesn't make sense to do that, especially when you're trying to close deals and high ticket deals and deals like Ronald had that took 3 months to set up and a tech ruined it with a single sentence. Not okay, right? And so that is how to close more by never answering the unasked questions. Don't forget, smash that like button, share this out to all the other people that you think could get value out of this, the ones you care about most definitely, people that are in sales or maybe looking to go into the profession of sales. This is important. And subscribe to the channel. I drop tips every single day or every 3 times a week of how to actually crush it. Make sure to hit the notifications, turn all the bells and whistles on. You know what to do. With that said, I really appreciate you. And there he goes. Ron says this. He's, oh my God, this story is making my heart race. He's been there. Yeah, it's a horrible place to be, Ron. I agree with you 100%. Ronald, the guy that I was working with, he was distraught because it was a multi-6-figure deal for him. So kind of a bummer. But with that said, you've just been tuned up. Don't forget, there's a FlowChat connector inside of each and every one of you. And I can't wait to see you next time.